I'm against all violence, period. Political, other violence, killing. I'm a pacifist against violence. So saying that first. Secondly, I think it's important to understand why these horrific assassinations happen. Take two of them and look at what they have in common. The CEO of United Healthcare and Charlie Kirk. Okay, what do they have in common? I think, and it's too soon to tell, so I fully admit that. I'm just speculating, right? We know that. What the hell's on my shirt? Something sticky. Oh, it's toothpaste. Disgusting. So with United Healthcare, we know that it was about the healthcare system. That Luigi had some health problems, and he represented what a lot of people were struggling with in the country, which is just this nightmare of healthcare in this country, where you need help. If you have cancer, you have something you need health care for, you're suffering for that emotionally. And then, so you have all this emotion built up because you're suffering with a disease. And then you have to deal with a bureaucracy of know-nothings that deny your care in order to make profit. And this frustration is what caused the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. I forget his name, Brian something. And so it's like pent-up frustration. Right? Not excusing it in any way. Certainly don't condone murder. Murder's bad. But it's important to understand why these things happen. And so that, okay? Now, it's too early to tell again, but it doesn't prevent me from speculating. This is the internet. You talk about this guy who killed Charlie Kirk. So they finally found the smoking tranny, right? They finally found the smoking tranny, which is that he had a roommate who was transitioning. I don't know if they were lovers or what. So let's just do an experiment, a mental experiment, and assume that this trans person was really upset about the stuff Charlie Kirk was saying about trans people. And it's similar, like this, you have to look at it you have to empathize, which I know is something Charlie Kirk preached against, but you have to empathize with the frustration of the people that were being, harmed by the rhetoric, right? So compare the people that were harmed by not just the rhetoric, but the policies of United Healthcare to the people that are being harmed by the rhetoric of Charlie Kirk. I mean, he absolutely, you can look at a lot of clips and you'll see he absolutely dehumanized trans people, said they don't exist, they're just mentally ill, right? So imagine the frustration that a trans person, a person transitioning is, going through all kinds of personal, that's hard, right? You have to go through hormone treatment. You have to deal with family. You're in a state that's probably a lot of people think that you're like Charlie Kirk, where they think you have no right to exist. You're not real. You're just mentally ill. Imagine you're going through this transition. You're a real person. You're a woman trapped in a man's body, or whatever this person's case was. And nobody believes you because of the rhetoric of this nasty, mean guy who looks like a spoon who's dipped in yogurt and some hair on it, Charlie Kirk, right? So, to me, it kind of explains. So, you can say of course, the right wing people will say trans people are crazy. Yeah, they're going to say that trans people are crazy. But on the other hand, you have to look at it and say you're pushing people too far. And I think that's the problem. You're pushing people too far. When you have cancer patients and you can't give them care, and they're already fighting for their lives, and you take away their ability to fight for their lives because some incompetent high school graduate is denying care based on some policies that that are profit driven and inhuman. And then on the other hand, you have you have somebody who's trying to live their life, their true life, and be happy in a way that won't make them want to kill themselves by living in the wrong body. And they're pushed to the edge. You can't just push people to the edge. When you bully people and they lash out and go crazy, it's because you shouldn't bully people. And that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. He was bullying people. And, I wouldn't say United Healthcare was bullying people in the same way, but their policies were absolutely bullying people, and harming people. And they were both harming people. So, I don't know. I think it's a lot of nuance. It's a lot of stuff to think about. And this is way too long. Shalom.